Good morning, everyone. Paradise in Thailand. I think I got the story on the chickens. They are not pets. They are not dinner. They're fighting chickens. And I'm being told that these chickens are worth 4,500 baht a piece, which is about 130 bucks US. Now, that's a damned expensive chicken in the United States. That's like a freaking golden chicken here. But I guess they're, I don't know if they're breeders or what they are, but there's two of them around here somewhere. So today they're working on the steel for the columns, inside the columns. These will actually go on top of those pilings. They'll dig down around the pilings, cut them off. The cage will go on top of the piling, with the piling 20 centimeters up into the cage, which is going to be pretty close to the bottom of that steel in here. And this will be the column that goes up to support the roof eventually. But I imagine they'll go underground probably to somewhere in this area, and then they'll pour the beam through here, and then the column will go on up from there. Oh, 5? Oh, way up. Okay. What he's saying is these are the ones that's going to go underneath the parking area. These short ones. The long ones will be the ones that support the roof. That's why these are short. And these are long. These will be the ones that support the roof. These short ones will go, let's walk over here, right down through the middle of this parking right here. Because those are just going to come up and support the floor in this parking area. So we'll see what these guys are up to today. See, they got to clean that dirt out from under there. That steel cannot contact the dirt. It's got to be concrete under it. Otherwise, the steel will rust, it will expand, and then you'll end up with cracked concrete. That's how they need to be there. That's not acceptable. But anyhow, they got a minute. We'll go through and get them cleaned up. And no changes here. So this one here is Rocky. The one over there in the other cage is Cocky. I think Cocky's in jail. Yeah, there's Cocky. They swap them out. They don't let them out at the same time. This is the sleeping quarters. They all sleep in here together. And the kitchen area, cooking. Oh, there's a tent in there too. I'll take a look at this tank over here. Okay, so this is the septic tank, the main tank. What'll happen is water and toilets will drain into here. They come to here. This is plugged here. They can't get into here, so everything goes down into this side. That allows the solids to go down there, and if there's any grease or fat, it will float right here on the top. But the water will go down there. It will come up on the other side of this wall or baffle, whatever you want to call it. It comes up, and the water will come through this material here. Kind of as a strainer to keep the solids out of the discharge pipe. There are perforations, holes in the bottom of this pipe here that allows the water to come up into here, and then we'll flow out that, and it will go out to several, they're like little manholes, they're little square boxes. The water can go to the manhole, so to speak, and dissipate out into the ground. They'll have multiple of those. I think they're like every 2 meters apart or something like that. We'll have to see. But they will allow water, if the first one gets saturated or too full or plugged up, then it'll just go to the next one and the next one and the next one until it's all gone. And this is, I believe, 1,000 liters I've seen somewhere. Yeah, 1,000 liters. This should be a vent line here. As I mentioned in the last video, the contract said there's supposed to be one stay on every pile. And there was a miscommunication or something. I don't know what happened, but they set it up with one every other pile, but they said they would take care of it, and today they're doing that. This wall is never going to budge an inch. Again, for those of you that just joined us, these are pilings that are 4.5 meters long. So there's 2.5 meters underground, 2 above ground, and then there's 2.5 meter long concrete posts here. They're going to tie those there like that, and then they'll encase those in concrete. And these folks are on the last short footing, the ones that go underneath that parking area we talked about earlier. And these guys over here are starting on the ones that are going to hold the roof up. I don't know how many meters long these are. Met tao right. Met.
5 เมตรครับ
5 met.
ครับ
Okay.
5 เมตร 5 เมตร 20
5 met Yisip.
ครับ
Yisip.
ครับผม
Yeah. So there's 20 centimeters in the cage and then 5 meters above it. So we have our pole raising ceremony in 4 days. So really all they have to do within 4 days is get one of these dug up and cut off. I imagine they'll have all these dug up and cut off by then. So I was out here yesterday, made 5 or 6 videos, got home last night, uploaded them into the wrong file, went back to the camera, thought I reloaded them the correct file, went to the original file that I sent them to, deleted them, went back to the camera, deleted them because I thought they were uploaded, and they weren't uploaded. So I lost all yesterday's videos. So just a real brief update on yesterday. We had some trucks show up, dump some sand and rock over here. Had some other trucks show up, delivered these concrete rings for septic system. They brought in a bunch more stakes and stuff for I suppose for forms. They got all the holes dug for the pilings, dug down around the pilings. And this morning already, they've come in and they've started cutting them off to height. The other thing I kind of corrected myself on yesterday is I keep calling these footings, but they're really not footings. I should be calling them a coupler, because a footing is typically large, 1 or 2 meters by 1 or 2 meters. This is just a square block that sits down over the piling that we just looked at. We'll go right in here, 20 centimeters, 20 centimeter gap, 20 centimeters of steel. That will sit over the top into the piling, and then they'll cast the whole thing in concrete. So it's more like a coupler that casts the column to the piling. The backhoe guy's not here yet, but he was here all day yesterday digging holes. The other thing I talked about yesterday is next month is my 60th birthday, the big 6-0. So if anybody's feeling generous, you could have one of those backhoes delivered to the address down below in the description. Not sure what I would do with it, but it'd be fun to have. Just, I told Septic I'd dig a hole and then dig another hole to fill the hole I dug, and then dig another hole, fill that hole. Just go around digging holes. Pilings were 6 meters long, and it looks like they're cutting about 2 meters off them. So there's still 4 meters of piling. So essentially what happens is the house rests right on top of these. And you can clearly see in these holes, the black dirt right at the bottom is probably the original rice field. That gray, that copper rusty shit is going to be the first year we put dirt on, and then this top sandy stuff is what they gave us last year. I'd rather not have this sandy crap. I wish we had that black on top. Be good growing dirt. On the stays, they got everything put together on the stays. I don't like this. These ones here, not very strong, but it's better than nothing. And reality is we got twice as many stays as we need. He's digging out around the piling. Oh, they're just tying in a couple corner stays. It's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it. So once again, this is going to be the parking outdoor living area here. House will begin here, run over to there, to the front. It's not a very big house, but it's just her and I getting old here, so we don't need a lot. Easier to take care of, easier to clean. Don't have to worry about many guests coming over at one time. So I don't know if you noticed a minute ago, in the background, I got tired of getting encroached on. I got evicted from my own property. When they got this cage up within 6 inches of my truck, I said, that's enough. I give up. Pulled all my shit, Took it down there this morning and put it down there in the rice field. Don't know what I'm going to do once rainy season comes, because that rice field's going to flood no matter what I do. All right, after a flurry of activity yesterday with all the deliveries and everything going on, and then losing all the videos, today's been a slow day at the office. They've just been working on getting these pilings cut off. The guys over there are forming up the stays. These guys are laying out, see the string here, the grid pattern. There's strings in a grid pattern, just like they did when they put the pilings in. They'll do the exact same thing. As you can see, they still have the marks from when they did the pilings. But by putting this back in here, it'll allow them to put those columns in the exact position over top the columns when it comes time to stand those up in there. So right over top of that piling down there, you'll have the grid. And that will tell them exactly where to stand that steel for that column that'll eventually hold the roof up. Guys, see if they're cleaning the dirt out of here. My din. Cup and cup. My din means no dirt. I don't want any of the dirt touching this stuff, because if dirt's touching it, that means the concrete won't encase the steel, and then in that scenario, the steel will rust and eventually fail. The rest of them look pretty good. Cup and cup. They brought a bunch more wood in today. I'm sure that's for forms and stuff. That's Rocky in the chicken in the cage over there. I don't know where Cocky is. This guy told me he'd get the wire in there, but I guarantee you what's going to happen. And I ain't even going to say it on camera. So we've got a short day at the office today, or it's going to be a half day for the most part. About a week or so ago, they finally set the date for the pole raising ceremony. When they set that date, I asked, is there anything I need to do? Nope, don't worry about it. Everything will take care of. Okay, great. About 3 days ago, they said, oh, well, the morning of the ceremony, you're going to have to go get this canopy that the monks can sit under. How big is the canopy? Well, it's 4 meters by 8 meters. 4 meters by 8 meters. How many monks are there? 3 monks. So I'll just leave it at that. Do the math. And then yesterday, it was added that we need to have a platform for the monks to sit on. So now we got to round up like one of those bamboo bed type things. Get that out here. Last night when I got home, it was, well, there's going to be like 50 people there. Because originally I asked how many, and I was told, just the main family. That's it. You sure? Because I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube on this stuff. And some are very big, some are very small. So it can vary a lot. So you don't really know. But as of yesterday, now it's up to 50 people. And we got to start preparing today. They want the tent out here, the chairs out here, the tables out here, which none of was listed before. The bed out here, the platform, whatever you want to call it. All that stuff needs to be out here today because the ceremony's tomorrow. And we got to go shopping to get food supplies or something. I don't know. So the little ceremony that I didn't need to worry about, it's a whole lot more now. House guys have got the forms out here for the, as I called them yesterday, couplers, because they're not really footings. They're couplers that tie the steel for the columns onto the top of the pilings. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with these. They need to go away, but they might, I don't know, throw them in a hole and bury them. As long as they're under the house somewhere, I guess I don't really care. I will never see them again. Going on with forms over here on these stays. And I call them stays, but they're west, I think we call them anchors. But here in Thailand, they call them stays, so that's what I've been referring to them as. Yeah, they're working on forms and digging dirt out. Hey. I talked about the little, I don't know what you call them, concrete biscuits is what I'll call them. All they are little round pieces of concrete they're making to like put underneath the mesh for the floors and stuff to hold the metal mesh up off the ground. And as you've seen, that's the only issue I have with the wall builders right now. So right here, they just set these on the ground, lay the mesh on them, and then they wire this to the bottom of the mesh, and it keeps it up off the dirt. So when they pour concrete, it just comes in and around them. Now they're making all these themselves. In fact, this lady right here is making them. But they're just using a piece of round PVC. It looks like it got run over right here. But they're just using a round piece of PVC, fill it with concrete, stick a piece of wire in it. Cheap, efficient, and effective. Perfect. Now back to the wall guys. I would give these guys a perfect 5 stars if it weren't for one thing. One thing only. And that's getting that metal off the dirt before they pour concrete. But other than that, I give this wall crew a 4.9 stars. It's a little thing, but it can make a major difference to the end product 5 years later for the customer. Okay, with that said, we're going to go get settled in the office. I just got here a little bit ago, fed the fish already. So we're going to go get settled in for a few hours. Like I said, it's going to be a short day today here on site. And then I'll have to come back a couple times to make deliveries, but yeah, half day at the office. All right, as you can see, most of the forms are gone. They've got them in holes and set up and leveled around the top of the pilings. As I said before, that cage will basically sit on top of that piling, get encased in concrete, and that will bring the columns for the roof up. You got wall guys, we've got this side all formed in. Mr. Wall Boss showed up. Looks like he bought himself a brand new concrete hopper. Somehow we've got to set up a 4 meter by 8 meter canopy right here later today. I'm not sure if any concrete will come in today or not. It's certainly possible with those stays because they might get across there in the next couple hours, get those all done. I don't know what the plan is. Like I said, without speaking the language, I never know. And with that, I think I've got enough clips put together to put together a short video. So I'm going to redirect my video attention to preparing for the ceremony tomorrow and the ceremony itself. I'd like to once again thank all the new subscribers and especially the long-term subscribers. Thanks for watching from Paradise City with Paradise in Thailand.